I was watching, I was checking out YouTube earlier today, and I noticed this one story talking about the passport, excuse me, the passport bros, right? And I seen that they said over 8 people was killed out in Colombia, Medellin. I think I'm saying it correctly. And it just had me thinking, right? Because I had this conversation I want to talk about on the live tonight, but I was like, you know what? We're gonna chop it up a little different tonight. You feel me? We're gonna talk about the passport bros. Well, I can't say it correctly. Passport bros are in danger. That's the question mark, right? With 8 people being unfortunately passing away from very look like tragic situations. You know what I mean? And it make me want to think back, right? It make me think back. I used to watch, and I still do from time to time, the show called 90 Days, right? Those who familiar with 90 Days. 90 Days is usually they have where American goes to, well, actually no, it's 90 days when American is looking to get married, right? They looking to get married to a foreigner in the United States. So what they usually do on the show is they usually show the couple or when they first meet. And a lot of times the American usually go to the country of whoever they dating. So if it's a Russian chick, they was talking to online through an app or whatever, maybe FaceTime, with iPhones, they chop it up that way, right? But after you finish talking to them online or even possibly even FaceTime, because I have seen people being catfished as well. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is on this 90-day show, for those who familiar with it, right? You eventually meet up with the person. So on this TV show called 90 Days, it shows the of when they meet this person usually online, or they may have took a trip out to the country, whether it was Colombia, Mexico, so on, whatever, right? They finally meet up with these people, or that person I should say, that they interested in dating and possibly taking it further, right? And when it really trips me out when I watch the 90-day show, right? And this is tying into the passport passport bros as well. The thing with the 90-day show, right? You meeting this person that's really a complete stranger to you that you met online. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like I said, the American is going to that country to meet up with them. And just think about that, right? That's really a dangerous situation. Now, keep in mind, of course, on the 90-day show, it's cameras. I'm pretty sure with the TV show, they have security there to a degree, right? But just break it down. Let's take it off of that. Just in general, you meet somebody online, right? From a whole nother country. And when you go to that country, my thing is, are you familiar with their language? Meaning, do you know some of the words to use? You know what I'm saying? You go to Mexico, are you able to speak Spanish, or do you at least know the basics of speaking Spanish, right? Russian, whatever. Go to Russia and the Philippines, Tagalog, all those different things. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to know. In my opinion, if I was to meet somebody online, right? If I was to meet somebody online, we talking for a while, maybe we start talk FaceTime and whatever. No matter what I have in my mind, if I met somebody online, right, through an app, whatever, right, eventually I'm gonna want to meet up with this person. But even if I met them online, do you truly know them? See, it's different when you're talking to somebody over the phone. But what happens when you meet up with them? Now you're going to deal with their everyday mannerisms. You know what I'm saying? You're going to deal with like how they act when they're not on the phone with you. You're going to see what their daily routines are. You know what I'm saying? Or how you know you actually really like this person. And I mean, that's just on a smaller scale, let alone if you being catfished. You know what I'm saying? Let alone you just being used, trying to be finesse. You feel me? Or even something worse, right? I mean, there's so many different variations you could take or think about when it comes to meeting somebody online, let alone from another country. And from my experience, just going to Mexico, right? I went to Cancun about 2 years ago, right? I went to Cancun, right? And even at Cancun, you know what I'm saying? We stayed like on a little strip. They kind of have like a little Las Vegas type strip in Cancun. You know what I mean? So all the hotels is on this main strip. They have a few stores you can purchase things from. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of stay insulated to a degree. But we had took when I was in Cancun, we took we was on a we had a couple we did a couple excursions out there. You know what I'm saying? Where you go to a Pacific area that they have designed where you go swimming, you can go cave, going swimming in the cave and all these different things they have for you to do, real activities and stuff like that. But what happened, they come and pick you up, meet you at your hotel, you get on this bus, and then you have to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, 2 hours away to go do this, activity thing. But what I was noticing as we was taking this drive, right? As we was taking this drive, I started noticing the neighborhoods. I started noticing how people were living outside of Cancun. You feel me? And be honest with you, it wasn't very pretty. It wasn't very pretty at all. And I felt like, man, if something was to happen to this bus and we had to somehow, you know, find a ride back to, to the hotel area. First of all, I don't even know if they have Uber out in a lot of those areas. You know what I'm saying, in Mexico. So that's what I'm saying. When you go to different countries, especially me being American, I'm so used to certain amenities. DoorDash, Uber Eats. You have all these different things and apps you can use where you have all this access. You know what I mean? And when you go into another country, not so much. You know, and then also how you know how secure not only yourself and also the type of service they're providing you. Meaning, at least here in America, let's say if you order something through DoorDash and it's coming from a fast food place, you can at least verify where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you in another country, is it the same process? You feel me? Even how, yeah, this is another thing too. When I went to Cancun, we was when we was out and about walking the little strip area, we'll stop at a little bar place, have a few drinks, and I'll order some tacos, right? And they were good. It was some good tacos. But when we got back home from the trip, my stomach was tore up, man. My face swelled up a little bit and my stomach was hurting real bad. And made me think, okay, the meat I was eating out there, was it stored at the right temperature? Because here in America, we have certain rules and regulations, FDA certified. We have all these different things to try to help protect us when restaurants is serving us food. When you go to other countries, do they still have that same terms and conditions? I mean, you got to really think about all that. And then let alone you take it to a relationship, you take it to meeting somebody, the laws that's protecting their citizens compared to you being a foreigner in another country. I mean, to me, there's so much liability going on you as a foreigner in another country. You know what I mean? And so, especially Americans, you know what I'm saying? What I come to find, even watching that show 90 Days, and from my own experience, A lot of people take American ways and access for granted. But when you go to these other countries, they don't have the same standards in the sense of how they laws protect you. Because even in Mexico, I had a rental car. They don't have the pedestrians don't have the right of way in Mexico. The area we was at in like the Cancun area, they literally was flying up and down the street. There wasn't even a speed limit. You feel me? You come to America, we got speed limits, we got right ways of passage. We have all these different things you have to be aware of. But when you go to other countries, it's not so much. So if you're going to date somebody or look to meet somebody from another country, you definitely want to make sure you do your research and try to make sure. And another thing that was always expressed to me, and when you go to different countries, right? They actually prefer for you to stay in the tourist area because they usually are able to protect you a little bit more. But when you leave these tourist areas and you get more with the locals and you get deeper into the city, your liability is very high on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not familiar with the country, you're not familiar with the locals, and you don't even speak the language that well, you stick out like a green thumb, man. You feel me? And if you go into like a developing country, and you come from America, most people, even on the show 90 Days, I mentioned a few times, when you go to a lot of these other countries, once you say you from America, a lot of these people think that you have money. You know what I'm saying? Based on their living status and based on what country, how rich your country you coming from. A lot of people in certain countries will automatically assume that you have money. You feel me? So that even make you more of a target. So that's what I'm saying. So you just got to understand that. And you can't go to other countries just focusing on the women, man. You feel me? Oh, what I'm saying? Dating didn't work for me in the US. So I'm going to go, you know, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to go to Colombia. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. Yeah, you can do that. You absolutely could. But do you understand the law of the land? Do you understand how people move in this country? You know what I'm saying? What to look out for? Because it's not going to be like you in America. You know what I'm saying? And let alone will you have the same protection as you here in America? You know? So to me, you put yourself at a very high risk when you talk about going to these going to another country, let alone looking to date women that you meet on an app. You feel me? Men you meet on an app. How you know what you truly dealing with? It doesn't matter how long y'all been talking on the phone. To me, that doesn't matter. Once you physically meet that person, now the true journey begins. You know what I'm saying? And man, I tell you, I tell you, I just feel like, man, a lot of people, man, from what I can see, and then the video I seen where they was talking about the people who unfortunately was deleted out there in Colombia. One of the guys, they showed the video how, I guess, I don't know if they was leaving a bar. The dude looked like he was in his late 50s, maybe 60s, and the girl looked like she was probably early 30s, maybe. Could be a little bit younger. And he was trying to get his keys out of his pocket, but he was holding on to the wall trying to go into his hotel room. And she was just looked like she was checking his pockets at the same time while he looking like, he about to fall out. So he looked like he was already slipped something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, when you go to another country, not only you need to do your research, you need to you definitely learn some of the language there, at least be able to speak the basics. Because once you get out of the tourist area, once you deep into the city life, you have to understand you don't have no one there to protect you, bro. You know what I'm saying? The people, the woman, whoever you're dealing with, they know their rules. They know, all the different little blocks and alleys and bars to go to. But you think just because you come from the hood of America, if that's the case, right? You think because you may have traveled different places, but remember, all it takes is one opportunity. All it takes is one situation where you're at your most vulnerable state, and it's over, bro. It's over, bro. And what was it really for? You feel me? What was it really for? Just to get a beautiful woman? Like, to me, that it's beautiful women everywhere. It's beautiful here in America, and pretty much, I'm pretty sure, almost in every other country. So I know a lot of guys, especially online, they talk about how American women is this, that. But at least in America, if this is where you're from, you grew up at, however the woman is here, at least what type of women we have here. When you go to another country, how do you know? You're not from there. You didn't grow up there. You visiting, and they know you a visitor. You stick out like a green thumb. So how the law of the land, and how the individuals rock and the locals rock in that country when you come in here and you just met a chick on a dating app and you trying to do it what, for the gram? Trying to tell you, man. You know, I bet those people who passed away thought they was just gonna go out there and have a good time, right? Because I bet somebody else told them, "Oh yeah, this is a good spot to come to." But remember, all they need is one opportunity where they can take advantage of you. And then, unfortunately, even if they take advantage of you, that may not be enough. And they may not want you to live to tell a story, right? So you got to really think about it if you want to be a passport bro. You feel me? You got to really think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, I'll be looking online too. I'll be checking them out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's some beautiful women. You know what I mean? In a whole bunch of different countries. I've seen some in, you know what I mean? All over Africa and different countries in Africa. I'm like, oh my goodness, some beautiful women out there. You feel me? But you don't know what you're really dealing with until you get out there. And then once you get out there, do you have security with you? I just feel like when you start going deep into these cities and other countries, especially if it's any type of developing country, you might want to pay to have some type of armed security with you. You feel me? I'm serious, man, because you don't know what you're really walking into. And I hear about guys getting Airbnbs out there. And I mean, and unfortunately, some of the 8 people who passed away, some of them was staying at 5-star luxury hotels, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter that they wasn't in no, slum hotels. Based on my research, a lot of these guys, they were staying in very plush, laid out, luxury hotels, and they still got did the way they did in the hotel, man. So that's telling me that a lot of the locals are connected. You know what I mean? A lot of them, like I said, they look out for their own, and you not their own because you coming from another country. You didn't grow up with them. You feel me? You don't know what their real struggle was about. You coming here on a vacation, unfortunately, and it's gonna be a permanent vacation for you, buddy. You feel me? You know what I mean? They gonna have you on a permanent vacation. You feel me? You're not coming back to the U.S. At least not the way that you left, huh? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, Sean B. Stoller, I'm trying to let you know. That's why I try to keep people gamed up in life, man. When I talk about gamed up, it ain't about using nobody. It's just that you need to use your common sense. You need to look at things from different angles, not just because she got a bubble back, not because she just looked good in them pictures. You know them pictures she sent you. Yeah, I know. But how you know that's even a woman sending you the pictures of a woman, huh? You know what I'm saying? Especially on them dating apps. And then I hear in Colombia, they say not even to use the dating apps because a lot of these criminals and people that want to do dirt or do harm to you, how you know you're not even talking to a woman on those dating apps in Colombia? You feel me? That's why, I did some research. They talking about don't even use those dating apps when you come to Colombia. So in my mind, when I hear that, that means all the criminals, they all use this app. So how you know you even dealing with a woman on the app? Yeah, they may have the same woman meet up with you, but that whole time you was typing, you're texting and typing, how you know that wasn't a dude you was talking to? I mean, that's why I say before you go to another country, especially if you don't want to stay in a tourist area, because like I mentioned earlier, when I went to Cancun, I did a lot of research. In the research, I what it was telling me is that for me to stay, they wanted me to stay in the tourist area. If I didn't pay, to have like a security with, you know, somebody to drive me around outside of the tourist area, they recommend for you not to do it. You feel me? Because at least when I was in Cancun, when you at the hotel, I mean, walking on a little strip area, you could see the police. They was like just driving up and down the strip with their lights on, right? They wasn't pulling nobody over, but they just had their lights on, and they had this. One of them had this pickup truck, and I swear they had one of them Terminator guns on the back of the pickup truck. You feel me? They had a Terminator gun on the back of the pickup with the dude in the back of the pickup with the Terminator gun, and they just driving this pickup in circles around the strip all day long. So that told me they trying to protect the tourists. They trying to protect the money that's coming into Cancun, and that's telling me that there is a serious threat out there for them to ride around up and down the strip. The police I'm talking about, the police in Cancun ride up and down the strip with them big old Terminator cannons in a pickup truck, and the dude is in the back of the pickup truck. You know what I mean? Harnessing the Terminator gun and saying, basically, I wish you would. We're going to protect our tourists because we want them to spend them dollars, but we want them to stay secure at the same time. Once you leave that tourist area, where's your protection then? Who's protecting you when you leave the tourist areas in any country? You feel me? See, in America, it's totally different. But when you go into Colombia, you're going to Mexico, you're going to Africa, different countries in Africa. Who's protecting you when you out there? Huh? Excuse me. I'm just saying, man. And a lot of people take this American way of life, excuse me, our American ways and how we live life here, and you think that applies when you go to another country, and it doesn't. The way we protect our locals and even foreigners, let's keep it real. Any foreigner coming to the US, they do protect you to a degree out here. When I went to Cancun, I recognized real quickly I'm not really protected outside of this strip. When you come to America, you protected no matter where you go. See, that's one of the luxuries in here. But when you go to these other countries, you have to remember, man, first of all, You need to recognize what the laws are for a foreigner. Yes, because you're a foreigner in another country. Yes, you are. Unless you have dual citizenship. You feel me? In that country you're staying at or going to. And then on top of that, what type of laws that protect you? Now, when you get into these local neighborhoods, that's where it get real dicey. When you meeting a complete stranger from an app, it gets even more dicier because you taking them back to your hotel. You taking them back to where you living at, where you know what I'm saying, where you most vulnerable at. Because now, not only this is a stranger, even though you met them online, you never really dealt with them physically, and now they know your location. So you have no idea how much you be leaving yourself open, man. I'm just saying, man. And for what? For what? Because you couldn't get a woman in the US? Your game was that weak. You couldn't find what you was looking for in the US, so you had to go to another country and risk your life. You feel me? You in a whole nother country risking your whole life. For what? You know what I'm saying? For what? That's the real question. For what? Was it really worth it? That's the part that kills me, man. That's what kills me with some of these dudes, man. You know, I heard so many stories where they be like, "Oh, the U.S. women, you know, they trying to be too aggressive. They trying to be like men. They, you know, they want to, they want to control a relationship." Well, there's some truth to that, but at the same time, what type of man are you, though? Are you even a man? Because not every guy is a real man. You feel me? I just feel some type of way, right? Because it's like you want to go to a whole nother country where you don't even speak the language. Because, like I said, even with the show 90 Days, when I watch that show, one of the things that stand out to me with the TV show 90 Days is when all these Americans go to these different countries and they fall in love with these people they met through an app or online or on vacation. You feel me? You met this person on vacation and you didn't even get to know or you don't even have an idea of who you really dealing with. Because remember, if you meet somebody on a vacation, that ain't the everyday setting of how you're gonna interact with this person. Meaning, when you're on vacation, most people, even myself, when I'm on vacation, I'm a little bit more relaxed. Because I don't work so hard. I work so hard every day. So when I'm on vacation, my mentality is a whole lot different than you dealing with me on an everyday base. You feel me? You know, when you deal with me every day outside of vacation, our conversation will be a little bit different because when I'm on vacation, I'm here to relax, I'm here to unwind, I'm here to not think about my everyday grind. You feel me? So if you meet somebody on vacation, right? They still don't even know you yet. You feel me? Because they don't know how you react when you're under stress, when you got a lot of things going on, bills got to be paid. You know what I mean? Your job, your boss getting on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? You may have kids and the everyday routine of that, dealing with your own issues, dealing with your kids, dealing with your responsibility. You know, it goes on and on and on. So what happens when that dynamic connects in your relationship? And then you're dealing with a foreigner that you got to now learn their language on top of everything else I said. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come to a head. And when I watch the show 90 Days, that's one thing I noticed where a lot of couples have the biggest problem. Because guess what? That's when real life kick in. Every day is not a vacation day. Every weekend is not a vacation weekend. You feel me? So I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. And that's the part that really get to me when I watch these, the 90-day shows and I hear these people talking about they talking about, oh man, I'm finna go overseas. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to holler at this woman. I'm about to holler at that one. You feel me? So it just tripped me out when I hear that. You know what I mean? Because you going overseas because what? You couldn't find a woman in the US that you felt that was up to your level, or maybe you didn't have enough game for you to be able to pull the type of woman you think you can get overseas. But the thing of it is, when you meeting somebody in these other countries, especially a developing country, don't you think that some of them are dealing with you because they figure that you have money? You feel me? You have money, you have access to resources that they don't have. So yeah, they're gonna deal with you because you got that dinero, you got that money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to hear that truth, and then when you finally get it, when it finally happens, it's too late. You may have had a kid with this person. You probably brought them to the U.S. and now their attitudes start to change. Because I hear that all the time. When you meet somebody in another country, right? You bring them to the U.S. and they slowly become that same exact person that you didn't want in the U.S. Because guess what? In the U.S., we have our own culture too. But the difference is, instead of you trying to run to other countries to get these women, you feel me? Why not get gamed up where you can find a woman that you want in your own country where you know what you're dealing with? Because for me, when I go to other countries, I'm not looking to hook up with women. That's not my goal. It's not my idea. I mean, first of all, I got a lady already, but I'm going there just for experience, just to get out and let's see what this country has to offer in a sense of, like the activities, the food, the culture. I'm not going there just because she got a bubble back and I met her on IG. You feel me? You know what I mean? And I had all these bad relationships in the US, and you know what? Let me just go to this country. I'm not even gonna learn the language, but I'm gonna just go out there and flash my dollars and see how that works. Oh, you see how it's working? Not well, my friend. It's not working well. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to a degree because it's like, come on, man. Like for real, you know? That's the part that kills me. I'm like, man, all you gonna do all this? You know what I mean? You gonna leave your whole country where are you the most protected? They always saying, men are not protected, especially black men, not protected in the US. Well, let's see how much you're protected when you go to these other countries. Let's see what type of protection you have there. You feel me? Let's see how much they're going to protect you in another country. You know what I mean? Because that's what I always say, man. When people get to talking bad about the US, right? when they be like, "Oh man, the U.S. I don't like the U.S. This is, it's this, it's that," right? I say, okay, well, what country you want to go to? Because what I can see, what's being presented on the internet and all these different places, it sure look like when Americans go to other countries, we don't get the same protection that we get in the U.S. Now, I understand in the U.S. we got our own issues. I'm not here to deny none of that. But my point is, I'd rather deal with what the problems I know and what to expect than to go to a country where I don't know and I don't know what to expect and you won't see it coming. You won't see it coming. You feel me? And then on top of that, you a foreigner in another country. I even seen where on the show 90 Days, this couple, this American moved to I forgot what country it was. I think it was a Cambodia or something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But the country that the American moved to, because that's where his girl, which eventually get married, they got married in her country. Even with him marrying her and he stayed in her country, they had opened up this bar. If they ever broke up, he would keep everything that he bought or they bought together. He would keep everything and he wouldn't have access to nothing because he's not a citizen of that country. So even though the husband from America that moved with his wife back to her home country, they opened up this bar. They started having relationship or marriage issues. And somehow they got on a conversation where if they were looking to completely just get a divorce, she would have rights to everything that he bought in her country. And because he's not a citizen, she would get everything. But yet, you got a problem with the US. Okay. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You don't like the US, right? You don't like the women in the US, right? But you go to these other countries and look how they doing you. I'm just saying, man. So don't tell me about, oh man, the US, man, the US is trash. The US is this. I don't want to hear that. 'Cause at least over here, you do have some type of protection. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not the greatest. Yeah, we got our own issues. We got racism. We got this. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of things over here. But at least in the US, I know what type of enemy that I'm up against as opposed to going to a whole nother country where I don't even know the laws, the language, and I'm not even a citizen in that country. So I don't even have any rights really in that country. You feel me? So that's the part that kills me about it. You feel me? It's like you want to say all this stuff about American women. You want to say, oh, American women is this, American women is that. But yet we just seen 8 people passed away trying to have a good time in a whole nother country with some women. They don't even know who they really dealing with. They don't even know if these was the. I bet you some of them don't even know this was the actual same woman that they was talking to online. How you know? Y'all over there getting toasted. You feel me? Having drinks, probably smoking a little something. Probably got you on all type of stuff. Because like I said, the one video I seen, the dude couldn't even put the key in the door. And while he was trying to find his keys and he's stumbling and fumbling, you feel me? Looking like he about to just fall over. She just studied digging in his pockets, digging in his pockets, acting like she helping him, but she just taking stuff off of him. And he's so out of it. It's sad, man. It's sad. It's sad, man. You know what I mean? It's a sad situation. You know what I mean? And And it's sad to see to a degree, just for the fact that you didn't even have to do it like this, man. For what though? Because your partners told you, your passport bros told you, hey man, it's popping in this country. Come on over here. It's a whole lot of women. You feel me? There's a whole lot of women that you could get over here. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, you don't even need that much money. You get over there, but they forgot to tell you a couple of things. They forgot to tell you, oh man, don't go to this bar with them. Don't hang out over here with them. Don't show them the cash in your pocket. Don't show off too much jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. And these people, man, I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you, man. They really, it's really a shame because a lot of these dudes really don't have no idea. And I was watching this one live. I'm sorry, I don't remember the gentleman name, and he was trying to tell him, "Hey, man, when you go to Colombia, you need to make sure you link up or pay for one of the locals to be like your tour guide." You know what I'm saying? And one of the dudes, I guess, supposed to be a passport bureau, he was saying how he come from a certain hood in America and he know what to look for. But my thing is, how you know what really to look for when you're not really familiar with the country you're going to? You don't know the real mannerisms of these individuals you're going to come in contact with. You feel me? I don't care if you've been talking to them online. You know what I mean? Through FaceTime, sending texts. It's not the same when you see them face to face. It's not the same when they, spiking your drinks. It's not the same when you think you finna go in the room and you feel me? You know what I mean? You're gonna get the juice with the squeeze, and this in there dude with some dudes in the room can't wait to hit you over the head and run your pockets. Don't let them take your passport. You better hope you can get to the embassy and verify yourself, man. Because I heard some real horror stories about that. You losing your passport, your cell phone, and you trying to get back to the U.S. I only could imagine what that would feel like. And then don't let them be, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them be assholes to you where they like, oh, we can't verify you. Oh, we can't verify you, man. Need to call your peoples, tell them to send you a new passport. I don't know about you, but it took me, I got my passport. I recently just got my passport, maybe about 2 years ago. It took me almost a year and a half to get my passport. You feel me? Well, it was in the middle of the pandemic, so maybe that had something to do with it. But either way, for me applying for my passport and going through the steps and taking the pictures and stuff like that, it took me a year and a half to get my passport. So don't tell me you get to another country, they rob you. They take your cell phone, they take your passport, they take your cash, they take everything, right? And if you can, hopefully, you can make it to the U.S. Embassy if you know where it's at or you're able to get access to it, right? How they gonna verify you? See, nobody talk about that part either. How they gonna verify you? Your mama can't just call up there and say, "Oh yeah, that's my baby. That's my baby boy." Well, your baby boy was out here, it's trying to have a hot dude summer, trying to have, let's say, trying to have a hot passport, bro, summer, man, and it all went wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that to say this, man. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if you're going to do it, do your research. When you go to another country, And my opinion, and I think a lot of other people would agree with this, is that learn some of the language of the country you go into. That will go a long way for you. You know what I'm saying? Because at least if you learn some of the language, when they get to talking in their language, right? You can pick up little things. They probably telling you right in your face, we about to set you up. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, they're gonna be smiling in your face, speaking a language. And they probably think you don't know their language. That's why it's important. If you go overseas, wherever country you go into, you want to get to know some of their language. And if you can get fluent with it, that's even better. Because when they get to talking in their own language about setting you up, you can know how to treat the situation. You can know how to get out of that situation. At least have enough time to bust a move. You feel me? But if you just go in there and you waving cash, you showing your jewelry, you don't think you ain't gonna get finessed? And the thing about the US, at least most likely you might get robbed, but you can probably leave with your life. When you go to these other countries, especially a developing country, I don't think they're trying to leave witnesses. That's how I think. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, man, if you're going to go to another country, please do your research. Please learn some of their language. Please, or not pay for some type of tour guide person and even security. If you go into like a developing country, I'm pretty sure the security shouldn't be that expensive. You feel me? I would pay some type of armed person to be with me every single I leave ever leave out that hotel. Because when I seen the video of the guy, they say he was at a luxury hotel, and that still wasn't enough protection. So to me, you better off paying for your own security, right? And have some type of tour guide person that can take you to the spots, because I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how gangster you are. There's tough guys and gangsters in every country you go to. You ain't the only one. And then you so much at a disadvantage anyway because you're not even a local. You feel me? You're not even a citizen. So you're putting yourself at so much of a disadvantage, you don't even see the play coming when they line you up, bruh. And unfortunately, that's why what happened to those 8 people who, was deleted. Because in my opinion, in my mind, the way I see it, they didn't do their proper research and they did not know enough of the language to understand what was going on before it happened. Because I bet you those ladies, whoever that was setting them up, was probably telling them in their face in their own language that they was setting them up, but laughing and probably kissing on them and stuff like, "Oh yeah, baby," and they just talking, you know what I mean, setting you up the whole time, and you didn't see the play coming. You know what I mean? So that's why me personally, I'd rather deal with my American women because I'm from America. I'm born here. I understand we have a lot of issues, but at least I know what to look for. You feel me? I know what to look for. I can understand certain type of conversations, the energy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm just kind of torn when I hear about the passport bros because I understand to a degree why you would do it, but on the other hand, me, you know what I'm saying? Me, I'm the type of guy where I may not be the most handsomest. I might not have the best body shape, but one thing I do have is a mouthpiece and a conversation. You feel me? And the confidence. So when I'm dealing with American women, I know how to have a conversation and get a feel of what I'm dealing with and how I want to treat the situation. But when you go overseas, you don't even know the language and you out there leading with your money. Because, oh, yeah, remember this when you go to another country and you say you're from America, a lot of them going to come off the back, they're going to say, oh, yeah, he has money. He got money from America, right? When I was in Cancun, man, they knew I was American as soon as I opened up my mouth and said two words. It was, where you from, America? You know what I'm saying? And I had a rental car when I was in Cancun. One thing I'll say this about Cancun, I like Cancun, but I very much dislike Cancun because everywhere you go, I don't care if I'm ordering a drink at the bar, ordering a taco, getting, you know what I'm saying, taking shots. Everything you're gonna hear is tip, tip, tip. Somebody open your car door, tip. Okay. You need to use the bathroom, tip. You order a beer, they want a tip. They want a tip for a taco. I mean, it was tips everywhere, man. Everything you could possibly think of that they helped you with or answered a question to, they ask you for a tip. You know why? Because you from America. They think you got it. You rich. You feel me? Everything was tip, 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 tip. I was tipped out. You feel me? I stayed there for a week. I wish I only did 3 days. Because by the third day, I was ready to go because I was tired of hearing tip, 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 tip. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, I did do a lot of research, and especially on YouTube. I did a lot of research on YouTube about Cancun before we went. And one thing I can say, YouTube, definitely some guys have put up some nice videos to tell you what the experience is in Cancun and what to bring with you. And one person I watched on Cancun, the guy was saying, man, make sure you get like a lot of ones because they're going to ask you for tips everywhere you go. And I shout out to you, whoever you are. I can't remember the name because it's about 2 years ago. But I'm just saying all that to say this, man. You have to understand the landscaping of the country that you go into. Oh, we got a few people in here. Make sure I hit that like button when you come in. That's how you support the channel. I just ask you hit the like button. And if you can support the channel, go ahead and hit that super chat, Cash App. But at least hit the like button when you come in. I greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But are the passport bros in trouble or in danger? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my opinion about it. Because one thing you got to remember here in the US, we have a lot of inflation, right? You don't think that's going to trickle down to other countries? It's going to trickle. We all connected to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's China, Japan, you know what I mean? We all connected because we get services pretty much from all these major different countries. So when one is affected, it affects everybody else to a degree. So here in America, we're going through a few changes and stuff like that and corrections. And so it's going to affect other things in the world, vice versa, right? You know? And so when you go to these different countries, when you go out here and you experience different worlds, when you go leave a world to go to another world, you have to understand you're not in America. Our poverty is different than another country poverty area. The people mentality are similar but different when you go to another country, right? So you got to remember that when you go to different countries, man. And on top of all that, you have to recognize, for one, you're not a citizen in that country. You're not a citizen. So a lot of the laws that we have in the US don't apply when you go to a whole nother country. You know what I mean? So you have to have that understanding. And that's why I say you want to educate yourself as much as possible when you go to a different country. And that part of that is you learning some of the language. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to them 8 people who passed away, unfortunately. And I think with the passport bros, this is awakening, and this is also, I think this is going to be the end. It won't be the end of the passport bros, but I think it's going to be an end of the way how it was. It has to be changes made. Because if not, you're going to see, in my opinion, even more negativity than what's already happened. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people is going to change up. And if not, for anything, you need to grow up and get some game about yourself so you can deal with people in your own country. You feel me? Because I said it once, I'll say it again. At least in your home country, you know what to expect. You know what you have to deal with to a degree. But when you go to a new land, a new landscaping, a new beginning, you have no idea what you're walking into. So I want to appreciate y'all watching this live tonight. Oh, my nose is acting up. Thank y'all for watching this live. My name is Sean B. Stoller. All I bring to you is nothing but good game, good conversation, good motivation, and hopefully some type of inspiration. I will be going live Sunday. I'm going to do the play-by-play for the 49er game, so come back and check me out. And if you like my channel, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and go back and watch a lot of my videos under my live tab as well as my video tab. I have a lot to offer on my channel, and I do put out videos 2 to 4 times a week, every week. And this weekend with the 49ers coming, I'm a 49er fan. They're playing Detroit Lions. I will be giving a play-by-play. I can't show the actual video because I'll get a strike for that, but I will give you the play-by-play of the game on Sunday. So please come back and check me out and enjoy it. It'll be a little bit different. I got a different setup on my couch for that. So I'll be sitting on the couch relaxing, and come and relax and chill with me if you have the time. So want to thank you for watching this live once again. Shout out to all my subscribers and first time viewers, and you know, anybody that's watching it for the first time. Thank you. I appreciate you. I want to say, y'all have a good night. Thank you for watching Sean B. Stoller. That's my name. Until next time, peace.